My wife collected my life insurance after I died. Then I attended my own memorial service. Nobody recognized me. Not my wife. Not my friends. Not even my younger brother. To them, I was dead. 3 years earlier, my car had gone over a cliff during a rainstorm. The vehicle burned so badly that authorities couldn't recover a body. The town assumed the worst. My family held a funeral. My wife cried in front of everyone. The insurance company paid out $5 million. And life moved on. Except there was one problem. I never died. I was sitting in the back row of the church watching everyone mourn a man who was very much alive. The fake beard itched. The sunglasses felt ridiculous. But I couldn't risk anyone recognizing me. Because if they did, the people who tried to kill me would know they had failed. And I wasn't ready for that. Not yet. I had spent 3 years waiting for this day. 3 years gathering evidence. 3 years preparing for revenge. But everything changed when a young woman walked into the church carrying a photograph of me. I had never seen her before. Yet somehow she looked familiar. Painfully familiar. She walked straight to the front and placed the photograph beside my memorial display. Then she whispered something that sent chills through my body. "I hope you knew about me." At that moment, I had no idea that discovering who she was would hurt more than discovering who betrayed me. 3 years earlier, I thought I had the perfect life. I owned a successful architecture firm with my best friend, Daniel. We'd built the company from nothing. We worked side by side for almost 15 years. I trusted him with everything. My wife, Vanessa, used to joke that Daniel was practically family. Maybe that should have been my first warning. The week everything changed started like any other. I was working late when a package arrived at my office. There was no sender's name. No note. Just a flash drive. I almost threw it away. Curiosity stopped me. I plugged it into my laptop. The first file was a video. At first, I didn't understand what I was looking at. Then, my stomach dropped. The woman in the video was my wife. And the man kissing her wasn't me. It was Daniel. I sat frozen. Maybe it was old footage. Maybe there was an explanation. Maybe I was misunderstanding what I was seeing. So I opened another file. And another. And another. Hotel receipts. Text messages. Bank transfers. Photographs. Evidence stretching back nearly 4 years. 4 years. My wife and my best friend had been having an affair for 4 years. I felt sick. Physically sick. But the affair wasn't even the worst part. Buried inside the files were company records showing money disappearing from business accounts. Small amounts at first. Then larger amounts. Hundreds of thousands. Eventually, millions. My wife and Daniel weren't just sleeping together. They were stealing from me. Every month. Every year. Right under my nose. I spent the entire night reviewing documents. Every file revealed a new lie. Every folder uncovered another betrayal. Then I found something that made my blood run cold. A folder labeled Insurance. I clicked it open. Inside was a recently updated life insurance policy. $5 million. Beneficiary: Vanessa Carter. My wife. I kept reading. Then I noticed a note attached to one of the documents. Just one sentence. After the accident, everything transfers cleanly. I read it once. Twice. 10 times. After the accident. Not if. After. Someone wasn't planning for a possibility. Someone was planning an event. And that event involved me dying. I drove straight to the police station. A detective named Michael agreed to review the evidence. For nearly an hour, he sat silently scrolling through the files. The longer he looked, the darker his expression became. Finally, he closed the laptop. Then he looked directly at me. "What I'm about to tell you stays between us." My heart sank. Michael explained that one of the officers likely to receive the case was related to Daniel through marriage. If corruption existed, filing immediately could alert everyone involved. The evidence could disappear overnight. Records could vanish. Witnesses could be pressured. And if Daniel discovered I knew the truth, there was no telling what he'd do. Then Michael said something I never expected. "You need to disappear." I stared at him. "What?" "You need to disappear before they make you disappear." The idea sounded insane. But the more we discussed it, the more it made sense. So we made a plan. A dangerous one. One that would fool everyone. My wife. My business partner. Even my own family. A few weeks later, my car plunged over a cliff. Or at least, that's what everyone believed. The vehicle was real. The accident scene was real. The fire was real. Everything was carefully staged. Only one thing was missing. Me. When news of my death broke, I watched it from a motel room hundreds of miles away. Then I watched my funeral online. I watched my wife cry. I watched Daniel comfort her. I watched them hold hands when they thought nobody was looking. And I realized something. Neither of them looked devastated. They looked relieved. That hurt more than the affair. Because it meant they weren't grieving me. They were celebrating. Months later, Vanessa collected the insurance money. Daniel became CEO of the company. And together they began living the life they thought they'd stolen from me. Luxury vacations. New cars. A beachfront house. Everything they had wanted. Paid for by my death. But Michael and I kept working. Patiently. Quietly. We followed money trails. Recorded conversations. Collected witness statements. Built a case so strong that nobody could escape. 3 years passed. Finally, we were ready. The memorial service was our trap. Daniel was receiving a prestigious business award. Before the ceremony, the town planned a tribute to me. Everyone connected to the scheme would be there, including people who thought they were safe. Everything was going according to plan. Until I saw her. The young woman. After the ceremony, I followed her outside. Michael helped arrange a meeting. The next afternoon, she arrived carrying a worn cardboard box. She looked nervous. I felt strangely nervous too. When she opened the box, I saw letters. Dozens of them. All addressed to me. But I had never received any of them. The letters were from a woman named Rachel. The name hit me like a punch. Rachel. My first love. The woman I had planned to marry before Vanessa entered my life. We were young. In love. And planning a future together. Then one day, she vanished. No goodbye. No explanation. Nothing. I searched for months. Eventually, I gave up. According to the letters, Rachel hadn't abandoned me. She had written constantly. She never stopped trying to reach me. The first letter revealed the truth. She was pregnant. With my child. My hands started shaking. The young woman sitting across from me lowered her eyes. Tears filled them. Then she finally spoke. "I think I'm your daughter." The room went silent. I couldn't speak. 21 years. I had missed 21 years. Birthdays. School plays. Graduations. Heartbreaks. Victories. Every milestone. Gone. Stolen. The next letters revealed something even worse. My parents had paid Rachel to leave town. They believed she wasn't good enough for our family. When she refused, they threatened her financially. Then they intercepted every letter she sent. Every photograph. Every birthday card. Every attempt to contact me. Rachel spent years trying to reconnect us. My parents spent years making sure she couldn't. I felt more anger toward them in that moment than I felt toward Vanessa. Because Vanessa betrayed me as an adult. My parents stole a lifetime. My daughter looked at me carefully. "I never hated you." That nearly broke me. "Why not?" She smiled sadly. "Because my mother always said there had to be another explanation." I couldn't stop crying. Neither could she. 21 years of questions. 21 years of pain. And finally, the truth. A month later, arrests began. Daniel was charged with fraud. Vanessa was charged with conspiracy and financial crimes. Several accountants were implicated. The company records told the entire story. Every stolen dollar. Every forged document. Every lie. The media loved it. The scandal dominated headlines. People who once admired them now avoided them. The empire they'd built from theft collapsed almost overnight. Then came the courtroom. The moment I had imagined for 3 years. Vanessa sat at the defense table. Confident. Arrogant. Certain she would find a way out. Then I walked through the courtroom doors. Her face turned white. Daniel looked like he'd seen a ghost. Maybe he had. The room erupted into whispers. People stared. Some actually gasped. For 3 years they had believed they won. For 3 years they believed I was buried in the ground. Now they understood the truth. The man they buried had come back. And he brought evidence. When I took the witness stand, Vanessa burst into tears. Daniel couldn't even look at me. The jury didn't need long. The evidence was overwhelming. Every lie. Every forged signature. Every stolen dollar. Every secret recording. Every transaction. The convictions came quickly. Long prison sentences followed. Justice. At last. But revenge wasn't the best part. Not even close. The best part happened 6 months later. My daughter invited me to dinner. Halfway through the meal, she looked up from her plate and smiled. Then she said something I had waited 21 years to hear. "Dad, can you pass the salt?" Dad. One word. 21 years late. Yet somehow. Exactly on time. I handed her the salt. And for the first time in years, I felt at peace. People think my story is about betrayal. It's not. It's about secrets. Because secrets have a way of surviving. They hide in locked boxes. Old letters. Forgotten photographs. Hidden files. Waiting. Patiently. For someone to uncover the truth. And when that day comes, no lie is strong enough to stop it. Not even one buried beneath an empty coffin.